Ariane Worlton is a person that enjoys life and the joys of it. She's excited to share a bit of her childhood with you. She is performing speech number 2, and this title of her speech is Creating Your Own Happiness. Ariane.
Tell me when to start. Anytime?
Yeah.
Okay. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. What does this phrase mean anymore? I hear it so often now that for me, it's become a very trite expression, almost banal. It's become rhetoric for me because you don't get to do anything with it. So what if someone said to you, make it a great day? What then? For me, that's empowering because all of a sudden I get to create something. I have a choice in how my day turns out. So there was one day where my oldest daughter came running downstairs and told my husband and I that our other 2 children were jumping in puddles upstairs. And it took me about 2 seconds to get up there and find them filling up 2-liter bottles of water and dumping them on my bedroom carpet so that they could splash and watch the splash come up. I had a choice. About 15 curse words later and a million spankings, I realized I was not making it a great day. But they had fun, and my husband was thoroughly amused the whole time. So I grew up, my late father passed away 10 years ago, and he was really fantastic, positive person. He could even make SpongeBob look a little dour. He sent me off every day to school with that phrase, make it a great day. And that always stuck with me. He very much believed in creating your own happiness. An example of this is him making the best of situations. So my mom and him decided to take a road trip. We lived in St. Louis and they were going to Utah. And my dad had been driving for a while, so my mom wanted to give him a break. So she said, I'll take over. And so they switched drivers. And not very long into it, she needed to stop for a potty break, which is not unusual. She stopped at a rest stop, and she didn't want to wake him up. And he was wearing her bright orange neon jacket, so she looked back. He's still sleeping, so she runs into the restroom, comes back, takes off. Well, about 80 miles down the road, she thought it was odd that she hadn't heard him wake up or hadn't heard from him. So she pulls over, checks the back. He's not back there. She had glanced back and thought she'd seen his orange jacket, but it was a basketball. So this was before cell phones were around. She didn't remember how far back, what rest stop, so she's in a panic. And she thinks, well, I bet he's called and checked in with our sons. So she calls our sons, and they answer, and they say, hi, runaway mom. In the meantime, my dad had gotten out in my mom's orange neon jacket, woman's jacket, run to the restroom. His hair's kind of messy from sleeping, and he comes back to the car, and it's not there. But he's not one to panic or get angry. So he's like, well, figure this out. And amidst asking for rides, he found a policeman that said he could take him to the border of the county, but he could only take him that far. My dad said, great, get me as far as you can. You know, my wife's coming back for me, but I'd like to save her some time. So he rides, gets dropped off, and, you know, he could have sat there and waited, but that's not my dad. He was like, well, I'm going to start walking. I might as well save her some extra time. So he starts walking, and who wouldn't do trash cleanup along the way? So he also started cleaning up trash along his walk, and when my mom came to pick him up, he was sitting on the edge of an overpass, and he had lots of treasures with him. I think he had an old tire and a little pile of trash, and that was my dad. Another thing he was really great at was he made it a good day by making others have a great day. Whether he was feeding a homeless person or running someone to church. He was always doing something. And Christmas time is a very fun time for me because it wasn't about the gifts. I mean, we got piles of gifts, but I don't remember what we received. But it was about this feeling when we served others. And I remember, I was probably only 6 or something. I remember we got to go shopping for this family and we bought all kinds of gifts and we filled up these trash bags. And I remember hiding in the bushes because I was too little to knock and run. But my brothers took gifts and dropped them onto the front porch, and they knocked and they ran, and I watched from the bushes. And I will never forget the look on these kids' faces when they opened that door and saw this pile of presents. And they said, "Santa came, Santa came." And if you ask my husband, I have a terrible memory, but that is something that has always stuck with me. Or the time that we were trying to quietly wrestle a couch out of our vehicle to set on someone's front lawn for their Christmas present. I will never forget those things. And that has something that has really stuck with me, and I've wanted to live my life like and to teach my children. It's almost for selfish reasons that I do it because I feel so amazing. I feel so uplifted after I do something for somebody. And I was thinking, well, if I feel this way, maybe there's like scientific evidence to back it up. So I looked it up, and there's evidence. There really is, guys. So Psychology Today put out an article, and it talked about whether you are the giver, the receiver, or just the observer of a kind act, you will be a healthier person. Your serotonin goes up, which is your feel-good receptors. Your immunoglobulins go up, which is your immune system. So physically and emotionally, you're going to get benefit from kind acts. So why would we not? They also did a study with people that were 55 and older, and those that volunteered in 2 or more organizations were 44% less likely to die sooner. And despite all the different areas they were at with health, smoking or exercise or whatever, they found that the kind acts were more effective than 4 times exercise a week or going to church. Like, this is a fact. And now I have an excuse to not exercise. So I challenge all of you, next time your day is looking a little dour and you're struggling, find something kind to do. Or if nothing else, pull up a video where you're observing something kind happening, because you are going to feel better and you will have that option to make it a great day.